What is going on, everybody? On YouTube, Steve here with Raiken Profit over at RaikenProfit.com. Coming back to you guys with another video. And in today's video, I'm going to give you guys 11 of my sale updates on Amazon FBA. So if you're not sure what Amazon FBA is, it's Amazon Fulfillment by Amazon, which is pretty much sending off items that you source to their warehouses. They fulfill your orders for you, ship them off, and you receive a check in a nutshell. So I'm going to share with you guys 11 items that I sold in my Amazon FBA store. First item is actually a Haggar Blazer that I came across. I actually picked this up during the Austin, Texas Green Room meetup. So if any of our fellow Green Room members are in the house watching this video, you may have seen me pick this up at a Goodwill. I believe I paid, I think it was either $10.99 or $12.99, and this sold for $79.99. And it took me a little while to ship this thing in. I had so much inventory to process, but right when I shipped it in, it sold instantly. So that was pretty cool. Haggar is one of those brands that aren't super popular. You know, I wouldn't pick it up typically to sell it on eBay. But when it comes to selling on Amazon, Haggar does very, very well. The dress pants do well. And this is the first time I've ever sent in a blazer. And yeah, it sold quick. So that was pretty cool. So probably made about 40, 50 bucks profit there. Next item up is that Kobe CD player that I picked up from the consignment shop. So I will link the video down below that I showed this CD player that I popped on from a consignment shop, and actually a bunch of the items that I picked up from that consignment shop already sold on Amazon. And there's another item I'm going to show you during this video that I picked up from a consignment shop and resold it. So that's another avenue or platform you guys could go to and spend time on to make money. So sorry about that. Bonafide hustler, man. Why are you texting me when I'm shooting a video? So I sold that. That sold for $89.99. I had to think about that for a second. I think I paid $12.99 plus tax. So let's say I'm in it for about $15 after shipping it in and everything. That's probably a little high. Probably made about 50, 60 bucks profit on that. So that was very cool. Next item that I sold were a pair of women's Keds shoes. This is very popular. This brand, actually, I never even heard of it before, surprisingly. And then it's funny where, you know, you ever buy a new car and you have it, and then all of a sudden you notice those new cars driving all around the streets. You're like, wow, like where are these? Why are there all of a sudden so many cars on the street that I have? I have the car now. There's a million cars out, same ones. Point I'm trying to make is the same thing happened with these Keds. I've never even heard of the brand, and then I started looking at different shoes and stuff, and I'm like, wow, this girl's wearing Keds, that girl's wearing Keds. I'm like, holy mackerel, it's crazy. But anyways, Keds, picked these puppies up, sold them for $49.99. I want to say I paid $10 for these. I picked up a bunch of other women's shoes that I ended up putting on my eBay store. I think three sets of women's shoes in my eBay store, and then I sent this into FBA. This one sold. The three other women's pairs of shoes haven't sold on eBay yet. I've gotten some lowball offers, but anyways, that was a good profit right there. Probably made about 30 bucks. Here's another pair of shoes that I picked up from a retail store. Did a little bit of retail arbitrage with these guys. Paid $16 plus tax. So I was in these for about 18, 19 bucks. Sold these for $59.99. So made about probably another $20, $30 profit. Crocs is an excellent brand. I actually have an uncle who is pretty high up on the corporate ladder within this company, Crocs. Awesome brand right here. Could definitely make you some good money. Here's another item that I picked up from that same big box store, a little retail arbitrage. Action. This sold for $15 and change. I want to say I paid $4.99 each, so I probably only made about $5 profit on this item. But I picked up a bunch of them, probably, I don't know, 9 or 10 of these in various colors and whatnot, and they've all sold. They've sold quickly, and this is actually a kid's kind of like a kid's, it says baseball cap, but it doesn't look like a baseball cap at all. It's more of like a running slash athletic outdoor type of hat. It's cool. I like the little camo action going down. Here's an item that I sent in probably a good 6 to 8 months ago. Alice in Wonderland. This was brand spanking new in the factory seal, which is amazing. I love picking up video games. I love picking up board games. Anything that's new sealed gets me excited. I don't know why I whispered, but That means I'm excited. Pick this thing up for who knows, probably 5, 6, $7, maybe $4. Who knows? I don't remember. But it sold for 45 buckaroos. So I probably made about, I don't know, 25 bucks profit on that, depending on how much Amazon decided to take out in fees. So yeah, that was a nice flip right there. Disney's Alice in Wonderland board game, new, sealed. A lot of people always ask Steve, can I sell used board games on Amazon? Yes, you can, but you will have to sell it under the collectible category. They don't have a used category for board games, so you're going to have to sell that under collectible. If you do decide to sell it used, please take the time to make sure that all the contents of the game are in the box. You don't want to be shipping off items that are missing pieces and this and that. You're just asking for trouble. You're asking for negative feedback. So, next item that I sold, this was cool. This was really, really cool. So I hit Jackpot City when I was in Baltimore. I had gone into a Baltimore thrift store and I picked up a lot of stuff. I think I spent 400 or 500 bucks. I don't even remember, but I walked out with a lot of various items, and I picked up about 4 or 5 of these Call of Duty Advanced Warfare Xbox One games, new sealed. You guys might not believe me, but I swear to you when I say this, it had a $24 price on it. It was a marker written on it. It was new sealed, so it had the plastic over it. It was 24. Then it was marked down to 9.99, and then it was marked down to $5 bucks, 4.99. I got like 4 or 5 of these, maybe even 6. It was crazy. And these have been selling for about 25, 26 bucks. And I believe I'm all sold out now. So that was a cool little flip right there. Still can't believe that I found that. Here's one of those consignment shop pickups. This sold for $18. I want to say I paid $6.99 or $7.99. So I didn't make a ton of money. I probably made, who knows, 60, 70% ROI on my money, 6, $7, maybe 5. But a nice flip. And, considering that it only took, less than a couple weeks to sell, I'm happy with that. I mean, would you be happy making 40, 50, 60% ROI on your money in, less than a month? I would. So, nice flip right there. I remember there was something sketchy with this. What was it? I don't remember. Maybe it was only the 3 customer reviews that were kind of sketching me out a little bit. When I deal with electronics, I like to see 10, 15, 20, 30 plus reviews because it's kind of tough on your phone. Sometimes, the rank will look amazing, but it's falling under a subcategory. So for anybody who's watching now, feel free to give me some tips and anyone else who's in the comments. How can you tell if it's in the main category versus a subcategory? Because it'll say, 100 in electronics, and then you get home and it's like you look it up and it's like 400,000. I don't know. It's crazy sometimes. But if you got any tips for that, leave a comment. But that was a nice little flip right there. That was a magnetic mount for a GPS. Next item that I flipped was this game, Animal Crossing for GameCube. Sold that for $29.99. That actually just sold last night, I believe. Apologize for all the noise, guys. I got the windows open. It's a warm day, and my apartment building, they're out doing landscaping and all that stuff. But Nintendo GameCube, awesome, awesome, awesome system to buy games for. We were just talking about this on the green room the other day. These GameCube games are going for a lot of money. So if you find a GameCube game, pick it up, scan it. Excuse me one second. I'm going to close a window. This is getting crazy. Hey, I'm trying to make a video. They think it's a game. They're messing with Raiken Profits videos. Oh man, this is uncut, unfiltered. This is raw. Anyways, guys, Animal Crossing, Nintendo GameCube. My tips for you that I want to give you when it comes to video games is number one, if you find GameCube games, scan them because they're going to have a barcode. Even PS2 games, PS3 games, just scan, scan, scan. Typically, the sporting games don't do as well. If you find any kind of like strategy, action, like first person shooter games, like those can do really well if they're rare. So scan the GameCube games if it's Nintendo, Super Nintendo, Sega Genesis, PlayStation. Just look it up. If it doesn't have a barcode, look it up. I can't tell you guys how many times I've looked up a game that I had no clue about and it was worth like 30, 40, 50 bucks. So also another tip I have for you, make sure it's in good condition. That's big, obviously. If it's a disc, take it out of the case. make sure that it's not all scratched up. Also, if the manual is in the case, that's going to help. If the original case is coming with it with the original artwork, that's a bonus as well. And number three, I can't tell you guys how many times I've done this when I first got started. I would buy like DVDs, I would buy games without even opening it. It sounds ridiculous, right? Never do that, because you want to know where most thieves hang out? They hang out at Savers and Goodwill and Salvation Army. I swear to you, because every time I open up a case with a really popular game, it's gone. It's missing. So all jokes aside, though, seriously, like there's a lot of like stealing of games at these thrift stores. Let me know in the comment section, how many times have you guys opened up a game? I remember one time I went to a thrift store. I want to say I was in, where was I? It might have been Baltimore a couple of years ago. And I was at this thrift store and I found like Super Smash Bros. I found like all these Mario games and Zelda. And I'm like, jackpot, jackpot, jackpot. I'm like, I'm never going to have to work again in my life. I'm like, I'm rich. I opened up every single case. No lie. Opened up every single case. Missing, 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 missing. And I thought to myself, well, okay, maybe they're all up front, because that's another tip I want to give you guys. Sometimes all the games will be missing inside of the case because they hold them up front because they know that there's some crazy mofos taking games. But I went up front and they said, nope, all the games are supposed to be in there. So somebody just went in and robbed the whole place. Anyways, video games, big money to be made. Let's keep moving on. Next item was a DVD. I had popped on a bunch of these DVDs. These things were ranked like 1,000, maybe 1,200 or 1,300 in DVD, which is amazing. Look at this, 32,940 customer reviews. Bada bing, bada boom. The profits are coming soon. These were all new sealed. I picked this DVD up, and a whole bunch of them. I think I got like 9 or 10 of them from the same thrift store. They sold instantly. It was ridiculous. And yeah, definitely be on the lookout for DVDs. I know a lot of you folks aren't approved in DVD. If you're not, I'm sorry. I'm sorry to hear. I got grandfathered into it. I could sell DVDs over 35 or over 25, under 25. I'm pretty much ungated in all DVDs. There's a few that are restricted for some reason, but I'm lucky. I'm lucky enough to be ungated. So if you're not, you can try to get ungated. I've heard of a few people getting ungated in DVDs. Only a few though. So it's hard. I can't give you advice on that. I've never tried to get into it because I've been grandfathered into it. But there's money to be made. Just make sure if you are ungated, they're real. Authenticate them. And obviously, the number one thing you want to look for is to make sure that the case doesn't look all weird and crazy. You know how bootleggers do it. The graphics are all funky. It's like black and white. Just make sure it looks real. But you are playing with fire to an extent when doing DVDs. Just be careful with any media, video games, books. DVDs, they're all counterfeited sometimes, at one point or another if they're popular. So just be careful. Last item that I sold for $89.99. What is it? I have no freaking clue. I tried to look it up, and what I learned was it you could use it to like scan through pages on the computer or scan through web page. I really didn't understand, and I know a lot of you guys are gonna be like, Steve, what the heck are you doing, man? Making a video talking about an item you sold and you have no clue what it is. You guys, it happens. It happens. You pick something up, you scan it. Maybe it's $3-4, even though there's 3 customer reviews, you scan it, it's going for 80-90 bucks brand new. I pick it up. I'm not going to sit there all day long trying to figure out what everything is and how it works. I mean, some people like to do that. Sometimes I just scan it and it's worth money and I send it in and I get paid. So if anyone wants to help me out with a gyro transport air mouse, let me know. Let me know. But it's definitely some type of scanning product. So anyways, guys, hopefully you enjoyed this video. 11 items that I sold recently within my Amazon store. As you can see, I'm diversified. Not only am I selling media, DVDs, books, board games, but I'm selling electronics, I'm selling shoes, I'm selling clothing. I'm trying to spread out my eggs as much as possible. And the more you know, the more you grow. Continue learning, continue educating, and start with something at first. Just get started. Start with books, and then slowly you'll move on to maybe electronics, and then maybe you'll get approved in or ungated in clothing and shoes, and then maybe you'll sell a watch. I mean, take it a day at a time, a step at a time, but there is money to be made out there. That's the reason why I made this video, not to brag, not to boast. There's plenty of people making more money than me, but just to show you that it's possible. So go out there, make it happen, keep on picking and making up money, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.